16 days ago, Group G kicked off the AFC Champions League group stages, and today we bid farewell to the 4 teams involved. Nagoya Grampus were the first team to book their place in the knockout stages with a 100% record so far. They play Pohang Steelers, who need 3 points to reinforce their chances as one of the best second-place teams. Well, it's also a goodbye to the Rajamangala Stadium today, which hosts its final game. It's been the home for these 4 teams. As you can see, Nagoya, a flawless record, 100%. They've only conceded 1 goal. That was in their last match against Johor. Pohang could still go through as one of the best second-place teams. Johor, though, and Ratchaburi, who'll play later, just playing to salvage a little bit of pride in their final match. Temperature very hot again today, 35 degrees. There is a chance of some rain over the next couple of hours or so. It's been a hectic schedule for these teams who've played a game every 3 days. Hence the big squads allowed this year, 30 in the squad rather than the usual 25 you would normally have for an AFC Champions League campaign. It does mean that the coaches, in particular Kim Ji-dong and Massimo Ficadenti, can rotate their squads accordingly. Of course, we have had no fans here, which has been the big disappointment, but we have had football. Just a few more days to go. Sunday, the final group matches. We'll know the full lineup then for the round of 16. The 8 teams from the West that qualified in April have been sitting patiently awaiting their round of 16 matches when they take place in September. Nagoya Grampus are actually the only team that is guaranteed a place in the next round. There are one or 2 teams that should make it. So Pohang Steelers on 10 points at the moment. 10 points was enough for 2 of the teams in the Western section to qualify as best second place teams, but they won't be taking any chances here. Japanese teams and Korean teams have dominated. They top all 5 groups. Of course, Pohang Steelers, the 2009 AFC Champions League winners, reached the quarter-finals in 2010 and 2014. Nagoya, as we say, have been superb in the competition so far. Scored plenty of goals. Yamasaki, their top scorer, with 4. They only conceded. Mitchell Angarak beaten for the first time in the game against Johor Darul Tazim. The rain has started already here. We've had some really heavy showers over the last couple of weeks, but testament to the standard of the pitches here, the drainage facilities and the ground staff for their diligent work between matches. It hasn't caused us too much of an issue. We did have the teams taken off in one of the games at the Pathum Thani Stadium, but they were able to resume after about a half-an-hour delay. Koreans will get back to their league campaign, as will Nagoya, currently 2nd in the J-League. Nishitaka, who's been superb at fullback for them in the competition. Pohang's only defeat so far came against Nagoya back on match day 2. They were held to a goalless draw by Ratchaburi in their last game. They really struggled to break down the Thai side, who were just playing for pride, looking to halt a 4-match losing run, which they did. Their defeat against Nagoya on match day 2, Pang, was their heaviest ever defeat against the Japanese side in the AFC Champions League, so they'll be keen to put that to rights today. Nagoya looking to make it 6 out of 6 and join a very elite band that have managed that feat in the group stages. Sang-woo just having a bit of an issue with the captain's armband, which is upside down at the moment. So the first of our double headers today. Johor Darul Tazim a little bit later on, taking on Ratchaburi in the final game in the group. But the two teams that have been superb throughout at the top of the table will make their way into this superb stadium. Stadium that was used previously for the Asian Games, the national stadium here in Bangkok. And today playing host to two of the top teams in Asian football. Nagoya all in white today, change strip for them. For the final time, these teams make their way out. They've been in the bio bubble now for nearly 3 weeks, with the quarantine periods before the start of the competition. But with all the protocols that have been put into place by the AFC and the local organising committee, we've had a very safe tournament that has been played in a good spirit, and it will play to a conclusion over the next few days. It's like a well-rehearsed routine now, the team photos. And talking of teams, let's take a look at the lineup. Steelers coach Kim Ji-dong names a strong side. There's just one change from the team that were held to a goalless draw by Ratchaburi. Boris Tashti drops down to the bench, with Kwon Ji-pyo recalled for his first start since the reverse fixture on match day 2. Ji-pyo will play out wide. It could well be Sung Mo that plays up front, with Young Jun just in behind him. Alex Grant will be alongside Wang Kyu at the back. Mohammed Abdullah Hassan from the UAE is the referee. Both assistants are also from the United Arab Emirates, while Omar Al Yakubi from Oman is the 4th official. Sang-woo and Shinosuke, the two captains. Well, as we said, Nagoya have already qualified and are bidding for 6 wins out of 6. Coach Massimo Ficadenti makes 7 changes to his starting 11. Keeper Mitch Langerak is rested, so Yohei Takeda comes in for a debut. Haruya makes a first start alongside Shinosuke at the back. Abe, Nagasawa and Yutaka are the other survivors from the 2-1 win over Johor on match day 5. But all those players have played a significant part in their progression so far. Boris Tashti on the bench for Pohang, while Ryogo Yamasaki, 4 goals to his name so far, including that superb hat-trick against Ratchaburi. He is among the Nagoya subs. It's hot and humid here. Rain starting to fall as well, which will just quicken up the playing surface. Takeda and Hyunmoo, the 2 respective goalkeepers. Hyunmoo has kept 3 clean sheets so far. So the penultimate match in this group prepares to get underway. It's Pohang Steelers in the red and black that will get us underway. They will kick from left to right in the first half. Surroundings they've become to know well over the last couple of weeks. So 16 days ago they got their campaign underway with a 2-0 win over Ratchaburi Pohang. Well, Nagoya started off with a slender win over Johor Darul Tazim from Malaysia. But two teams that really grew into the competition. Certainly Pohang over the last few matches following that defeat from Nagoya. They scored 4 against Johor. And then 2 in the reverse fixture. 13 goals scored in 5 matches for Nagoya Grampus. They've been pretty good in front of goal. First touch for Takeda is to clear the ball out of play over on the far side. Has made 19 appearances in the J-League, Yoi Takeda. Pohang coach there, Kim Ji-dong, former midfielder with the club. Actually joined Pohang, or Posco Atoms as they were there when he was, or when he graduated from high school. A rare occurrence to go straight to a football club. Massimo Ficadenti replaced Yohiro Kazama back in September 19. He left after a 15th place finish. Ficadenti has come in. He too a former player with a history in Italy, Verona and Torino. I wonder if he was watching on last night as his nation booked a place in the final of the Euro 2020 Championships, which were played at Wembley last night after a penalty shootout against Spain. Probably a bit late for him, to be fair, with the match this morning, but not so important for the coaches, of course. More important that the players are tucked up in bed. There's Alex Grant. Pohang on 10 points at the moment. A reminder that it is only the top team in the group that is guaranteed a spot in the knockout stages of the competition later on in the year. But 3 of the best second place teams will go through. So the 3 teams that went through from the western section when it was played in April, Al Wada, who had 13 points, Tractor and Al Hilal both had 10. So at the moment Pohang have 10, but there are some teams still with 2 games to play in some of the other groups. So a victory today to put them on to 13 could and should be good enough, but 10 might be just sweating under the results a little. So important that they do get a positive result today. Can they inflict a first defeat on Nagoya Grampus? There's Manubu. Abe. There's Shumpai coming into the starting lineup for a second start today over at right back. Have played the 4-2-3-1 formation with good success, Nagoya, so far in this competition. Very good back four with Yutaka, Shinosuke, Hiroya and Shumpai coming in today. Hiroya making his first start. Is Shinosuke the captain? It's given away by Inagaki. Just the one foreigner in the Pohang side today. That's Alex Grant, the Australian. And Boris Tashti dropping down to the bench. Shinosuke. Nagasawa stopped in his tracks. They don't give you much time on the ball, Nagoya. They do press high. Yoshiro forcing Grant back to his goalkeeper. Hyunmoo took a touch and just managed to clear. Good header from Hiroya. Jipyo. Kangwoo. Su Bin trying to slip that one back through to Kwang Hoon, who'd stayed forward, but it beats him into touch. Got a pretty good record against Japanese teams, Pohang. Lost just 2 of their last 14 in this competition. They made a promising start here. JPN. Jinho. Sangwoo. Nice play. Little tap back down the line from Youngjun. 2 in the centre. Might come here for JPN. Wouldn't quite sit through. It was Shinosuke that made the challenge. And that caught JPN, who will need some treatment. Nagoya have put the ball out of play. Just about to pull the trigger, and Shinosuke with the block. It was one of those block challenges. No foul clearly by the Nagoya captain. He had to be on the money with that one. JPN's okay. Has scored once already in the group stages. That 4-1 win over Johor. He's claiming it was footing, but the referee from the UAE just explaining to him that it wasn't. It was a good challenge. Shinosuke started every game so far for Nagoya Grampus. To say these sides have got such a rich tradition in this competition, it's only the 2nd ever meeting between them. Their first meeting was that game on match day 2 when Nagoya won 3-0. Akitani and 2 from Mateus doing the damage here. Well, according to the official stats after the opening 10 minutes, Pohang have had 91.3% possession. That will even out, of course. Pohang have started well there. They've seen plenty of the ball. They've managed to get into the Nagoya area on a couple of occasions. That chance for JPN a moment ago was only denied by that challenge from Shinosuke. It was Youngjun just clipped as he was making his way forward. First appearance for Pohang in this competition since 2016, when they finished bottom of a group that contained Sydney FC, Urawa Red Diamonds and Guangzhou Evergrande. Won just the one game in that campaign against Urawa, so this has been a much better campaign for them. Much better, much different proposition now, of course, under Kim Ji-dong. Allowed to run for Kwang Hoon. Got the ball in past Yutaka. That was Seung Mo. Is tussling away in the middle. It should be cut out by Yutaka. Manubu. Now Yutaka. Haruya. Shumpai. Be interesting to see the way that Nagoya play this game. So they've absorbed plenty of early pressure here. They could become only the 5th team to ever win 6 games in a row in the group stages. Shandong Luneng and Busan I-Park in 2005. Most recently, Al Dahail in 2018. Kashima Antlers also won all 6 games rather in 2010. So they've got good company among Japanese sides. Good ball over the top, chase on for Naoki. Sang-woo forced to play it. What a dangerous ball across. Yoshiro nearly cut that one out. Dangerous game, teams playing back across their own penalty area. Subin. Kwang Hoon. Jipyo. Finding a little bit of space. Yutaka coming infield to track. He might go all the way here. Jipyo. Challenge on the edge of the box from Haruya. Kwang Hoon. Subin. Alex Grant. Happy to go back to the halfway line if there's nothing going forward. That looked like a handball. It was handball. It was also a dangerous tackle. Both feet were off the ground. This is that incident a moment or so ago when ball was played across the box and well, had Yoshiro just got a foot on that, he could have easily deflected it in past Yeonmu. Kwang Hoon. We've talked a lot about Nagoya's successes over the last few years being built on such a mean defence. They conceded just 28 goals in the J-League last season. It was the lowest total in the league. Second best in the current campaign. Only 13 goals have been let in this season. And of course Mitch Langerak, who had kept a clean sheet up to match day 5 in this competition, broke that 30-year-old clean sheet record when he went 9 games and 824 minutes without conceding a goal in the J-League. Shinosuke with a foot in again, only as far as Kwang Hoon though. Jinho. Header from Shang-Hub. He's had an impressive tournament, Sang-Hyub. Scored a couple of goals. He's been a constant source of pressure for fullbacks. It's his first season at Pohang, having joined from Suwon Blue Wings. Scored a hat-trick against his old club back in May. Also scored a penalty against Johor in stoppage time. A 4-1 win over Johor back on match day 3, the first of the reverse fixtures against the Malaysians. Scored in the opening win over Ratchaburi as well. Sankyop, useful player to have in your lineup. That's forward by Haruya. Is Abe. Grant. Been comfortable at the back so far. Pohang in the opening quarter of an hour or so, just over now. Away by Hyunmoo. Away by Yutaka. Sangwoo twisting and turning and trying to get the better of Shumpai. Both these sides' nations have qualified for the Olympic football tournament, which will take place in a few weeks' time. As Japan as the host nation, of course, Korea Republic had to qualify. Both have got just one player involved in their respective squads. Song Min Kyu from Pohang Steelers, the 21-year-old. Not featuring today, not on the bench, but Yuki Soma for Nagoya is on the bench. Looking forward to trying to pick up a medal there. Free kick to Pohang. Still 0-0 here. The win would take Nagoya on to 16 points, so they can't be caught at the top of the table. So they have qualified. Their final points tally really is irrelevant. But Pohang would move on to 11, which still might be touch and go depending on other results. It'll be a nervy few days' wait to see. A win at 13, you would feel, could well be enough for them, but you never know in football. The old adage, win your own games and don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Yutaka. Jinho. Seung-mo. Tried his luck, but sliced away for a goal kick quite well off target there, Seung-mo. Confident enough to have a go from outside the area, though. Seen some goals of real quality in this competition. See the bowl at the end there where the Olympic torch was when the flame was rather when the Asian Games were held here. In 1998, the Asian Games took place here at the Rajamangala. Also hosted the AFC Cup final back in 2007 as well. It's a multi-use stadium as well. It has been used for some big gigs in the past as well. If you like your live music, Lady Gaga, One Direction and Coldplay have all played in this stadium. And ironically, this is the stadium where Korea Republic beat Saudi Arabia in the final of the AFC Under-23 Championship to book their place in the Olympic Games in Tokyo in a couple of weeks' time. The attacker's ball over the top, comfortably headed away by Wan Kyu. It'll be a free kick. Foul on Nagasawa. Jupio, the man trying to track back. Will be Abe with the free kick. Haven't really seen Hyun-Moo tested as yet inside the opening quarter of the match. Is this the moment for Nagoya to threaten? It's a dangerous one in. It took a flick off a defender. I think it was Alex Grant. It's gone for a corner. They've been threatening from set pieces throughout this tournament, Nagoya. What can they do here? Grant's header away again before the keeper could get a punch. Sang-woo. Nice little give and go. Ball across by Kwang Hoon, but straight into the arms of Takeda. Just to give you an idea of where we are for these second place finishes, of the 5 groups at the moment, 2 teams are currently on 10 points, Pohang Steelers and Kitchi from Hong Kong. They've just got 1 game to play, so the maximum points they can get is 13. Daegu, who have got 9 points so far, have 2 games left, so 15 points they could get to. So too could BG Pattern United if they win their final 2 matches. Gamba Osaka have only 6 points at the moment in second place. They can only get to 12. So you can see the importance of Pohang Steelers having to try and win this game to get up to 13 points. Al Wada, Tractor and Al Hilal, as we mentioned, all picked up a place in the knockout stages for finishing in second place. The points are going to be higher here, though. in terms of teams at the top of the group. Olsen Hyundai, Nagoya, Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors, Kawasaki Frontale and Cerezo Osaka are the 5 group leaders at the moment. So Nagoya, of course, we know are going through as group winners. Nagoya trying to make a breakthrough, well defended again by Pohang. It's away by Kwang Hoon. That just came off Young Jun. If he'd allowed it to run, it might have made it through his way through to Sang Hyub. This is Naoki who in behind Sang Woo. Young Jun goes out of Shumpai. It'll be a throw into Pohang Steelers over on that far side. That blank that Pohang drew against Nagoya on match day 2 was the first time in 13 attempts they'd failed to score against Japanese opposition in this competition. Mo. They always fared pretty well against Japanese opposition. The first Japanese side they came up against was Kawasaki Frontale in the 2009 group stages. A 1-1 draw and a 2-1 win. Here's Jipyo in on goal. Still going, Jipyo. Just wanted one too many touches. And Nagoya have got that away for a corner. Great run from Kwon Jipyo. Yutaka was just left for dead, really. Just that little drag back inside. He just couldn't get the shot in. And it was a good challenge in the end from Shumpai to put the ball away for a corner. Pohang's first corner of the game. Chance for Grant and for Wang Q to come forward and see if they can make their aerial presence felt. That's a bit of a mismatch there, Alex Grant and Yutaka. Still claiming he's been pushed. He is about a foot taller, I reckon. Good ball in, it's over Grant. Sang Woo. Went for the little reverse rather than the cross. Now the ball comes in again. Free header! Good save. It's Jipyo denied again by Takeda. And the man coming in for his first appearance in this competition, Yohei Takeda, has made the first real save of the game. Good reaction, good hand. Jipyo denied again. Another corner. Well, the purists would say that he should score from there, from that close in, but he was straight at the goalkeeper. Keeper still had to react. Sang Woo takes the corner short this time. Away by Yoshiro. Everybody back there behind the ball for Nagoya, so Pohang can try and get themselves moving forward again. Grant has made his way back now. Possession has evened itself out a little now. It's a bit more realistic. Here's Hyunmoo. Referee had a look at that, decided it is a foul. Inagaki, the challenge on Jipyo. He's the main causer of problems for the Nagoya defence at the moment, Jipyo. Hadn't played for Pohang since 2018. Kwon Ji-pyo, he had a couple of loan spells at Seoul Eland and FC Anyang. So ulterior motive for some of these players as well coming into this competition. Just give the manager or the coach something to think about in terms of future team selection. Came off Sang-kyo. Shumpai back to his goalkeeper Takeda. There's too much on that. Pohang's first defeat against Japanese opposition came against Sanfrecce Hiroshima in the group stages, a 4-3 away defeat. They have played Cerezo Osaka and Gamba Osaka in the past in the group stages. They've got a good, rich history against Japanese opposition. So their last appearance was against Urawa Red Diamonds, a 1-0 win and a 1-1 away draw. Here come Nagoya. Haven't seen too much in an attacking sense so far. That takes a deflection and into the side netting. So from a couple of corners at one end, it's another corner for Nagoya Grampus now. There's a header from Haruya. Headed it off the Pohang defender, so it will be another corner. Shinosuke took a tumble on the edge of the penalty area. Abe with the corner. Goalkeeper just had to backtrack. That was curling in. Hyun Mo kept his eye on the ball though. Sang-woo. Wan-kyu. Grant. Free kick to Nagoya in a bit of a rush to try and take this, trying to catch out the Pohang defenders, but Grant was there to head away before it reached Chiro. Subin. Ji-pyo. Still no goals. 35 minutes gone. Haven't managed a single shot as yet, Nagoya. 5 shots for Pohang, just the one on target. That header from Ji-pyo that was saved by Takeda a few moments or so ago. It's a foul by Seung Mo on the attacker. Nagasawa. That's a good ball, picked out the run of Naoki. Again, there's just lack of quality on that final ball at the moment. Pohang are managing to get bodies in the way. It's gone for another corner. It's another corner though to Nagoya Grampus, their fourth of this first half. Again, it will be swung over by Hirojuka Abe. Much deeper one that time. It was headed away by Subin. Shutaka with a throw. Can either of these sides make a breakthrough before half-time? We've 7 minutes to go. Be a free kick. Kwang Hoon. That could be a final warning for him if he fouls again. Was sent off in the first game between the sides for 2 yellow cards. Shin Kwang Hoon missed the matchday 3 clash against Johor as a result. Didn't have the best records. He was sent off twice in 5 games in the K-League prior to this competition. Abe again to try and deliver the free kick. More favoured this time on his right foot. This is whipped in with pace. It could pose a few problems for Hyunmoo. Grant's header away. So we saw Grant as a substitute in the early matches. Played 4 matches off the bench. Always came on and played at left back, but the last 2 games he's played at centre back and has looked very assured. Here's Sang Hyub striding forward. Seung Mo in the middle. Jipyo's in there as well. He's been the big threat so far. 3 white shirts quickly around the ball though. Kwang Hoon. Jin Ho. Grant. Sang Hyub. Sang Woo. Finding it difficult just to find any space to play the ball into at the moment. Good defending again by Nagoya. Sang Woo tries his luck. Popped up in front of the keeper, but he had his body behind it. Takeda has scored a couple of goals, the captain. Scored in both games against Johor, one from the penalty spot. Pohang's 6th shot on goal and their 2nd on target, but they still haven't managed to make the breakthrough as yet. Pohang resume their K-League campaign with a trip to Jeonbuk Motors on the 21st of July. Only 7 wins in 18 games so far. They're 10 points behind Ulsan Hyundai. There's only a handful of games to play in the K-League in the remainder of the season. Nagoya too are well behind Kawasaki Frontale at the moment, 18 points having played a game less. They are 2nd in the J-League. Kawasaki have really dominated that league this season. Whack on the back of the head for Abe, which he just felt, but then quickly recovered. Grant striding in to get there ahead of Manubu. Hyunmu playing the ball out from the back again, and they've got away with that. Grant, Wankyu. Good presser from Youngjun. Oh, over the top for the goalkeeper though, no problems. And it stays at 0-0. Foul on Nagasawa. Hasn't felt the need to pull a card out yet, the UAE referee. He has talked a lot about the standard of the refereeing and how good it's been, and there haven't been many unnecessary cards given out by referees, not backed up by VAR, of course, in the group stage. They will be later on in the competition, but I think on the whole the referees have performed exceptionally well, as have the assistants with the offside decisions. Abe. Now Shinosuke. Abe. Yutaka. Shunpai just runs out away from Naoki. Massimo Ficadenti was quick to come out in the press conference ahead of the game, saying that the sending off definitely helped them when Kwang Hoon was dismissed in that first game. Obviously playing against 10 men, they were able to capitalise on the spaces that were left for that 3-0 win. Renewed determination about Pohang Steelers to try and get the victory from this match. It's been a fairly even first half, in fairness, in terms of possession, but Pohang have had more in front of goal. Just an additional minute at the end of the first half. I just bobbled a little, and it's away by Grant. Did well to get the ball across there. Naoki just seemed to jump up a divot as he tries to cross that one in. Still the pressure on from Nagoya here at the end of the first half, but time has run out and the whistle goes for half-time. Well, Pohang had the majority of the ball. Jipyo went close, a good save made by Takeda, point blank from a header. Hyunmu has been relatively quiet in that first half, Nagoya haven't shown too much going forward. Pohang Steelers need 3 points, don't forget, to try and reinforce their qualifying credentials. Nagoya already through. Stalemate at half-time here in the Rajamangala Stadium. It's FC Pohang Steelers 0, Nagoya Grampus 0. Welcome back to the Raja Mangala Stadium. Teams have emerged here for the second half, 0-0. One or two of the Nagoya players still to make their way out. It's Pohang that had the better chances in that first half. Nagoya didn't manage a single shot on target, despite the fact that they managed a few corners and reasonably good attacking play. Referees Mohammed Abdullah Hassan from the UAE. Nagoya still a little slow just to get out of their huddle at the moment. Say 0-0 here. Nagoya already qualified, don't forget, if you just wanted to know the scenario. A point for Pohang would take them on to 11. It could be enough, it might not be enough. 13 with a win probably should be enough. Nagoya Grampus get us underway then for the second half. The final 45 minutes for these two teams in the AFC group stages. It's Nagoya all in a white chain strip today. Pohang in their familiar red and black hoops. A free kick, and the first yellow card of the match goes to the Nagoya captain Shinosuke for the foul on Jipyo. Jipyo had the best chance in the first half, a close-range header that was pushed away by Takeda, making his competition debut today. An early chance for Pohang to maybe put some pressure on here. Jin Ho over the free kick. 3 Pohang players just trying to make life difficult for the Nagoya wall. We see that a lot these days. What can Jin Ho fashion here at the start of the second half? Straight into the wall. Wasn't the greatest free kick. Had chance and had room really to try and get that one up and down. Chase on here for Seung Mo, but that will beat him into touch. Xianghu. He's been creative right throughout for Pohang. Didn't see a huge amount of the ball in the first half. Jin Ho, whose free kick was into the wall a moment or so ago. And once again comes to nothing for Pohang Steelers. Seven shots on goal, 2 on target for Pohang in the first half. Just the 1 shot off target for Nagoya. So Nagoya had scored 13 in their previous 5 matches, just 1 conceded. Chase on here again for Sang Hyub. And will keep the ball in play. Youngjun. And Sang-woo. Good in by Youngjun. Good take by the goalkeeper, Takeda. He's got there ahead of Seung Mo. Ball over the top again, good run from Sang-woo, just beats him into touch though. Quite overloaded down this near side with Sang Hyub and Sang-woo, who likes to get forward, the captain. Sang-woo with the throw. It's the first time ever that Nagoya had won 5 consecutive games in the AFC Champions League. As we say, only 4 teams previously have won all 6. It's a record they'd love to try and add to their roll of honour, if you like. Manubu, nice ball through. First time shot comes from Naoki, angles tight, but he squeezed it home beyond Hyunmoo. And Nagoya Grampus, who are preparing to make changes, have taken the lead. And it's Naoki Maeda who gets his first goal, their first shot on target. And Nagoya Grampus, who've been clinical in front of goal throughout, have scored here. It was missed in the middle by Manubu, but not by Naoki, who had time to drag it back, create a better angle, and fire beyond Hyun Moo. You could see the reaction of Alex Grant, whose tackle it was that actually put the ball into Naoki's path. And that's a good finish beyond the goalkeeper. And Nagoya Grampus have got themselves in front right at the start of the second half. Well, they were just about to make changes as well. Whether they still will, Mateus was readying himself to come on. 4 goals already. And in fact, they are making the changes still. So Yuki Soma, as we say, will play for Japan, or certainly be in the Japanese squad for the Olympic Games. And Naoki's last involvement is to score the goal. So Mateus on and Soma on. Naoki's gone off. I think that was Manubu that's gone off as well. So they've taken off the 2 wide men. Brought on Mateus and Soma. Mateus had started 4 of the 5 games, did come off the bench against Pohang on match day 2. You have to say the goal really, if you take into account the amount of shots, has come against the runner play, and here they are again. That was Soma. First intervention, he's getting the ball across. Now Pohang will need to come out. They know that they need to win, really. So 10 points might be enough, but there's no guarantees. Points tallies of the second place teams with 2 games to go is much higher than it was in the western section. It is Manubu that went off along with Naoki. Sangwoo. Wenkyu. Jinho. Really congested on the edge of the penalty area at the moment. Sangwoo goes for the return. Sangwoo is an important touch by Haruya to concede the corner. Positive run from the captain, trying to make space in the penalty area. Takeda will organise defenders for the Sangwoo corner. Don't forget how good Nagoya's defence has been. 7 clean sheets in their last 10 AFC Champions League games. That's a foul by Alex Grant. Nagoya, you can be sure, won't be in any great hurry to get balls in and around. There's the as it stands. Nagoya going on to 18. Pohang will stay on 10. Sanghyub. Seung Mo. Mateus just ran kindly for Sang-woo. Mateus. Shumpai back to Nagoya, who in turn is another touch to Takeda. There's more height than distance. That's gone straight out of play. The Korean coach Kim Ji-dong gathers the ball, the 49-year-old. He was a player when Pohang won the AFC Champions League in 2009, a two-time K-League winner. K-League Manager of the Year in 2020 when Pohang booked their place in this competition. It's away by Hyun-moo. Inagaki. Shoulder to shoulder, JPN and Nagasawa. Free kick went the way of Nagoya. Everything's running in their favour at the moment. Got that goal through Naoki, his last kick of the match before being substituted. Shumpai. That's a short ball. Just got there first, Shinosuke. Now Yutaka. Haruya. Another double change about to be made by Nagoya. And they're bringing on their joint top goal scorer as well, Yamasaki. Good ball down the line. Abe right the way across. Soma very nearly got a touch. Yoshiro couldn't gather either. Could have easily been a second goal. It's been a much better offensive performance from Nagoya in this second half so far. Yoshiro. A free kick. Foul by Soo Bin that time. So here comes the change. Hirajuku Abe is going off to be replaced by Gabriel Xavier. First time we've seen the Brazilian in the competition. And Yoshiro will be the other player that's coming off as well. So I think Soma will push out wide with Yamasaki through the centre. Massimo Ficadente, 4 changes made now. Gabriel Xavier moved from Cruzeiro in 2018 to Nagoya. He was on loan initially, joined permanently in 2019 after a couple of loan spells. Yamasaki scored that 20-minute hat-trick against Ratchaburi on match day 3. Mateus with a free kick. Good pace on that, too close to the goalkeeper though. If he just pulls that away from Hyun-moo, he's giving those forward players a chance to get a decisive touch on the ball. How Pohang will miss those, or rue those missed chances rather in the first half. The header from JPN, which was pushed away by Takeda. A couple of other half chances that went their way. They didn't manage to find a way through, and now they find themselves having to come from behind. Good ball into JPN. I think it was handball. Felt he'd been fouled by Shinosuke, but just got turned in the penalty area. Boris Tashti is coming on for Subin, so first change made by Pohang Steelers. Had started every game prior to this. Boris Tashti did score. Got a penalty against Johor. Also scored against Ratchaburi in the very first match day. And Shumpai just took his eye off the ball. Sang Hyub with the throw. Yutaka. Down the line for Yamasaki. Mateus. First touch for Gabriel Xavier. Now Yutaka. Gabriel Xavier. Looking for Soma. Cleared away by Wang Q. That will be a foul on Jipyo. It's a completely different Nagoya side in this second half. They've come out with a bit more purpose. They've made the substitutions that have helped to change the shape of the game. And it's always a good sign of a good squad when you've got substitutions that don't just go like for like, but players that just add a little bit extra. We know that Mateus can score. We know that Yamasaki has got 4. They got 8 goals between them, those two. Boris Tashti, might be an ideal time for him to step up and see if he can add to his goal-scoring tally as well for Pohang. Same towards Mateus, nicely taken down into his path though. Sang-woo. It's close enough to get a touch in. Goes out off Mateus. Foul on Jinho. Massimo Ficadenti, who's got a great record since moving to Nagoya Grampus. Now been in charge for, prior to today's game, 68 matches, 38 wins, just 16 defeats. Foul on Young Jun. Reminder that the final game in the group, before we bid farewell to the Raja Mangala Stadium, will take place later as Johor Darul Tazim from Malaysia take on Ratchaburi, who ground out a point against Pohang Steelers in the last match. Completely unexpected result, but a really resilient performance by the team from Thailand. One of the reasons now Pohang are having to try and win this one. Great long-range shot, Takeda flying across goal, and Seung Mo wasn't too far away. Allowed to run by Young Jun. Flashed his foot across the ball. It didn't quite bend enough at the end. And he wasn't too far away, Seung Mo. Did score in the 2-0 win over Johor, but that would have been a quality goal had it found a way in past Takeda. Not to be, though. Wang Q's all over Yamasaki, and he will get the free kick. Good play by the referee, though. He didn't blow straight away. He tried to see if there was an advantage for Yamasaki. Yellow card for Wang Q for the verbals to the referee, I think, rather than the foul itself. Has played in every game. He's been a mainstay at the back for them. Kwon Wang Q. He gets a yellow card. Second yellow card of the game after Shinosuke, the other central defender, was booked for Pohang Steelers, for Nagoya rather. Yamasaki's a handful, that's for sure. He's a striker made in the old-fashioned striker mode. He's not a typically Japanese striker, Yamasaki. Very good in the air, good on the ground, knows where the goal is, and here he is around the back once again. Almost fell for him. Scored two brilliant headed goals in that hat-trick he scored against Ratchaburi. He's got a good striker's instincts. Into the final quarter of the game, and Pohang really need to try and get something. The only game the last two games rather, they failed to score in was the 0-0 draw with Ratchaburi and the reverse fixture on match day 2 against Nagoya. Just lost their way in front of goal a little when they needed to find it. Fired in towards Young Jun, cut out by Mateus. Tashti. Sang-woo. A couple of players went to ground off the ball over on that far side. Referee saw it and acknowledged it. Forward header by Grant, on by Sang-hyub. Sang-woo. Plenty of players back in white behind the ball at the moment. Wang Q. Kwang Hoon. Chase on for Gabriel Xavier, well cut out by Grant, important header. Jin Ho. Now Sang-woo. Tashti on the chase, it'll just beat him into touch though. Boris Tashti. Scored 3 goals since joining Pohang Steelers. Boris Tashti, 2 of them from the penalty spot. Scored in this competition against Johor with a 27th minute penalty and a 4-1 win. They take anything at the moment though, Pohang, to get themselves back into it. Good challenge by Grant, just got there ahead of Mateus. Down the line by Sang-woo. Now Sang-hyub. Good solid defending again by Shumpai. Sang-hyub went for the curler, took a deflection, and that might have been sneaking in the far post had it not taken that deflection in front of goal. Takeda looked well beaten. It's come off Haruya, who just flicked a head at it, and it's just gone wide, enough to take it wide. Agonizingly close still. Grant again forward for the corner. They've got Tashti in there now. Player just in front of the goalkeeper. It's Jipyo that's just been told to watch the pushing by the referee. Jin Ho with the corner. Oh, it's a free header from Wang Q, who's headed it into the ground and wide. And again, it's head in hands time for Kim Ji-dong. Rose brilliantly, attacked the ball with pace, but didn't get a clean contact on the header. I'd be bitterly disappointed with that because it was a glorious opportunity. Great ball in. Nobody picked up the run from deep, and, well, that reaction says it all. That's twice in the space of a minute he's had his head in his hands. Have Pohang Steelers got something in reserve to get back on level terms? So there'll be some tired bodies out there. Some of the players have played pretty much every minute of their team's campaigns. Games every 3 days in the searing heat and humidity of Thailand. Some coaches have rotated their squads more than others. Other coaches have wanted to stick with their best players as much as they can. Pohang with a free kick. Jin Ho looking to try and use that aerial threat of Tashti and of Grant. It's too close to the goalkeeper. That's a poor delivery. Just when you're crying out for a little bit of quality with the ball into the box, pass in just deserts. Mateus going close. Still the tussle going on. The whistle goes, and there's going to be a yellow card here for Shumpai. It's a little blot on his book, really. It's a good save by the goalkeeper. Got down really well again, Hyunmoo. Nice little layoff. I was going to say left by Mateus. I think they both got a bit of that. Now that would have been interesting had he gone in. Well, they claim half a goal each. I don't know how that would have worked, but came to nothing. Hyunmoo made the save. This is Yamasaki, just wide. Well, it's another instinctive shot on goal. There was a touch on it. It's gone for a corner. Good save, Hyunmoo. Just got a fingertip to that. We'll see it better from this angle. That's a good save. Really good save. He knew straight away he'd got a touch. The referee agreed. Another corner. Nagoya with the better chances in this second half, and having scored that goal, of course, through Naoki. Corner in by Mateus into the near post. Headed over by Shinosuke. Pohang making another change. Chon Min Wang coming on for a second appearance off the substitutes bench. Had made 3 starts. He's been on the bench for the last couple of matches. He's going to get his chance. Time ticking away now from Pohang Steelers. Charged down by Tashti. Here comes the change. It's Young Jun that's going off. Ming Wang, so the player that's coming on. Free kick to Pohang, chasing the game, still trailing by a goal to nil. They need to try and get at least a point. It still might not be enough, 11 points. They'll be eagerly watching other results. They'll be heading off back to the Korea Republic, of course, after this. Jin Ho. Still 4 more days of matches to come. Here's Sang Hyub, weaving and twisting and turning, and finding Boris Tashti, who can't serve. He can't turn, rather. He's claiming he was being fouled there, Tashti. Referee seemed to have a clear enough view of that. Just thought he was going to turn the defenders. Good defending by Shinosuke, who put a foot in. That's a good challenge, an important challenge. Little flick again from the captain. Away by Yutaka. Wang Q. Kwang Hoon. Seung Mo. Need to get the ball in the box. Chip over the top. Chipyo on the turn. Just too high. Good effort. Just too high, just about sums up Pohang's second half, really. They had a much better first half. They're going to have to find a breakthrough. Nagoya are going to make a final change. Ryo Morishita is going to come on for a 5th appearance as a substitute. Up in the air by Shinosuke, just put himself back into a little bit of trouble. Jin Ho's ball across, took a deflection. Takeda gathers, but he's fouled by Tashti. He had big shoes to fill to come in tonight. Yohei Takeda replacing Mitch Langerak, who has had such a superb record since moving to Japan. He's done pretty well tonight, though. The 33-year-old made that one good save from Jipyo in the first half. That was a key save. Here comes the change. Morishita coming on, and Shumpai is the player going off. Was it Sagan Tosu before joining Nagoya for this season? Just made 1 start in the J-League. Ryoya Morishita. Gabriel Xavier. Challenged by Grant. Has just allowed that ball to trickle out of play. Soma trying to find Yamasaki. Soma again, he's a very creative player, Yuka Soma. Yamasaki, Mateus was arriving, Gabriel Xavier, it's high over the top. can't find any space in behind the Nagoya defence at the moment. Only two teams have scored more goals than Nagoya Grampus in the group stages so far. Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors and Kawasaki Frontale. Well, Daegu have actually got 17 as well. High-scoring group, Group I. Grant allows that to run through to his keeper. Foul by Jin Ho. Yeah, just had a little look at Morishita as the ball was dropping over his shoulder. Seven minutes to go then. Nagoya Grampus about to become, well, 7 minutes away from becoming the fifth side to win all 6 group games in the AFC Champions League. They'll be the 4th team from the Eastern region. The only team from the West to achieve that feat was Qatar's Al Dahail in the 2018 group stages. And they're the most recent team to have performed that feat as well. It's a foul by Jin Ho. Just the body language now from Pohang, thinking that probably they've missed a chance, really. Nagoya, who started the game slowly, to be fair. They were very much under the cosh in the opening 20 minutes or so from a Pohang side who'd started full of confidence, and that was something the coach said, that they had to be full of confidence coming into the game against Nagoya, but the Japanese have just bided their time and got that goal in the second half for Naoki 7 minutes in, and it just really seemed to kick the stuffing out of Pohang. Yutaka. Here's Yamasaki trying to get to the ball, and Gabriel Xavier's in the middle. Grant clears the ball away for a corner. In fact, it just went out for a throw right in the corner. And Chipio putting his head in there. He was fortunate not to get caught by Inagaki. Yutaka. 14 goals scored by Nagoya Grampus, just the one conceded in the last match against Johor. Massimo Ficadente, almost flawless record. Soma, Nagasawa. Eight points clear. Nagoya, they're going to win the group comfortably. So they'd already wrapped up the group with their win in the last game. Ratchaburi looking for a 3 points against Johor that would see them leapfrog their Malaysian opponents later. Sanghyub, well to get to the bar and spins away, and off the top of the bar it was Morishita that got a touch. Good play by Sanghyub. Just goes to show if they get the ball out wide to him what he can do. Morishita got a foot in. Off the bar and away. Takeda just taking a note of who might come from distance here. We saw Wang Q at the last corner with a great run, and it just didn't make contact with the header. Now what can they do? Grant's forward again. Takeda punches away in a crowd of players. Kwang Hoon. That's just gone out of play again. He's been a frustrated man today. Kim Ji-dong. In illustrious company with Al Hilal, Pohang Steelers. They have only won the AFC Champions League in its current format on one occasion. Tezuka with Usoma leaves it. Yamasaki. It's a good block. Won the Asian Club Championships in '97 and '98, back in the old format. Here's Sang-woo. Ming Wang. Tashti on the chase once again, in with a chance. Tashti! Equaliser for Pohang. And there is a lifeline. It's a vital point, or could be a vital point. Boris Tashti seizing on an error at the back. There haven't been too many errors. Third goal of the tournament for him. Playing off the back of Haruya. It was a poor touch from Haruya. And the Ukrainian slipped the ball beyond Takeda. Just a second goal that Nagoya Grampus have conceded. Won't make any difference to top spot, but could make all the difference to Pohang's chances of going through to the round of 16. It will move them on to 11 points. And there might still be time for them to grab a winner here. But here comes Yutaka. Nagoya straight back on the attack at the other end. Yamasaki blocked away. Mateus. Back inside Mateus. And over the top. Well, that's live in the game up. Well, if only that goal would have come 10 minutes earlier, we could have been in for a real grandstand finish, because Pohang will go all out to try and get another goal. You can be sure of that. Hyun-moo will try and get plenty of distance on this. Just too high for Tashti. Away from Jinho. And gathered by Takeda. Final minute of the 90. Just Tashti again. Good effort to get a foot in. Gabriel Xavier. Now in Igaki. There's the table as it stands. Nagoya through already, of course. Pohang now on 11 points. I mean, that could still be significant. It just means they're going to have to wait around and see what's happening with the other groups. All the other second-place teams could still get more than 11. Here come Nagoya, back on the attack again. Good defending to concede a corner. 4 minutes added time, we're into that already. Hyun-moo getting his defenders organised. Soma will swing over the corner. Mateus. Nagasawa. Gabriel Xavier. Nagoya's 100% record all of a sudden 3 minutes away from being halted. Credit to Pohang for the way they've kept out the Japanese in this second half. Just looked for a while as though their heads had dropped a little earlier on, having conceded that goal, but the introduction of Tashti has just perked them up a little bit up front. But Nagoya playing keep ball at the moment. Morishita. Gabriel Xavier. given away. Now there might be a chance of a break on here for Jin Ho. He's got Sang-woo, the captain, outside him. Still full of running. Trying to squeeze that one through beyond Inagaki. Good defending. Forced all the way back. Grant just asking his goalkeeper to come out and take control. Probably needs to launch this one long now, and does. Nowhere near a red and black shirt though. Tied it up by Shinosuke. Soma. Yutaka. Driven in, Yamasaki! He was slightly behind him, Yamasaki, and he did well to get a shot in at all and couldn't keep it down. Good play by Yutaka. Snapshot by Yamasaki just over the top. Just had to halt his run a little there. Great ball in. Just caught it on the shin, I think. That would have made him their top scorer in the tournament if he'd found that, going on to 5, one ahead of Mateus. Morishita's header. One last attack maybe in the final minute for Pohang. Jin Ho. Sang-woo. Ball to him wasn't a great one. It's hooked across his own area by Haruya. Wan-kyu. Queuing up on the edge here. That was played through by Jipyo and Seung-mo off target. Well, it's been a good game, the penultimate game in the group. So Johor Ratchaburi will see us out in Group G a little bit later on, but this one's been entertaining. Pohang started well, knowing they needed the win. They fell behind 7 minutes into the second half through Naoki. Tashti got them back in it. We've played the 4 minutes added time. There is no time for the free kick. They were trying to get players forward for Hyun-moo to launch that one in. Alex Grant's got a few words for the referee, but Boris Tashti gets Pohang a point. It may not be enough. They'll have to wait and see how the other teams in second place finish up on July the 11th when all the groups are completed. But Naoki's goal put Nagoya Grampus in front. Tashti levelled it up 2 minutes from time. It's no 100% record for Nagoya, but they go through as group winners. Both teams can leave with their heads held high after quality campaigns in the AFC Champions League group stage. Full time at the Raja Mangala Stadium. FC Pohang Steelers 1, Nagoya Grampus 1.